Good evening. Chris Lee, joined by Blake Lovell and Max Barr. We got SEC basketball reaction. We got craziness going down. We got Kentucky and A&M going to play till the crack of dawn, till tomorrow morning, I think. We got Ole Miss pulling a shocker in Tuscaloosa. We got Auburn clobbering Mississippi State without Johni Broome. I'm having to separate Max and Blake in the green room here before there's fisticuffs.
You don't want to know the conversation that was being had in the green room, because there were some strong words about one of these games.
Strong words.
Very strong words. But, oh my gosh. Anyways, all right, continue.
Max Barr, what do you have to say for yourself?
Where do we want to start? Because there's a bunch we got to cover.
Look, listen, it's like, where do we start? And oh, by the way, Missouri scored 30 points in 9 minutes against Florida and is up 13 right now. The SEC, the gift that keeps on giving year-round, just like the Jelly of the Month Club and Christmas Vacation.
Nice.
I mean, my goodness, SEC basketball, tremendous stuff. Boy, there is a comment in the chat right now I cannot bring up on the screen, but, man, I think a lot of Kentucky fans and other fan bases will agree with it. But, all right, let's start. There's so many. Hold on a second. I'll tell you where we're starting. Right. I'll tell you where we're starting with Tony Allen, who just gave us $49.99 in the super chat. He was sick. Oh, I think it's a record for this season. There's no question about it.
Yeah.
Woo. Oh, $49.99. Tony says, sick and missed the last show. WD, we know what that means. Question for me and Max. Was that a blowout? Ooh. Now, a 22-point win. Max? Survey says blowout. Auburn over Mississippi State.
Yeah. Yeah.
So
my goodness.
$50 to get that one answered.
But
we appreciate it.
Hey, Tony, he knows. He knows how it goes here.
Whoa, my gosh.
Whoa! What is happening?
Look at this. You guys are on a roll right now. Zach, who has continued what I think is now at least a double-digit streak in Super Chats. $49.99. He decided to match it. Only Sanders Logistics would match this number right here. $49.99. $100 in Super Chats coming in the first 2 minutes. This is going to be one of the wildest streams ever. There's no doubt about it.
What is going on?
But you know why Zach sent him $49.99? He wants Chad Baker-Mazara. He's also pointing out the performance here. He wants Chad Baker-Mazara on the show. And I told Zach, trust me when I say we have done everything we can to get an Auburn representative, and there has been agreed to, but unfortunately, the next step of the process has not been completed. But for now, Chad Baker-Mazara. Here, let me quickly give you this stat. And we're going to start with Auburn real quick, because I know Kentucky fans are going to come in.
What is happening here?
This game will last another 15 minutes, but hang on a second. We're going to start with Auburn real quick. And don't worry, Ole Miss fans, I see you. And we're going to talk about the Rebels.
Oh, yeah.
We all got it wrong on the Rebels. And I know you guys want to get on me about my rant on the Tide this week in the power rankings. It was accurate at the time. No longer. I would probably switch my vote. But Max may switch his vote, too, if Missouri keeps doing what they're doing.
I was just going to say.
Wild stuff. Somebody, Chad weighs in here. Hold on a minute. There's a lot of comments. Max, keep an eye here on some of these.
Yeah,
but
we got
Chad weighs in.
Another.
Buzz just called a timeout down 14 with 50 seconds left. Well, I can't. Listen, hey. All right. John C. weighs in with $10 super chat. We're over the $100 mark in 4 minutes. He says, Buzz ball stinks. I did not say that. John C. said that. Note that for the record. But let's quickly just start with Auburn, because we're going to talk about all sorts of stuff. This show could be an all-timer. I'm still just in shock over the super chat here. You guys are tremendous.
Unreal.
So the stat I put out earlier today with Auburn, and I thought this was going to be the story of the game here, no matter what, right, was that I took Evan Mia's top 10 SEC players with the highest offensive performance ratings, okay? And you had, number 1 was Broome, number 2 was Chad Baker-Mazara, right? So you're thinking, okay, no Broome, Baker-Mazara obviously going to have to keep doing what he's doing. But if you go a little further, Tahad Pettiford, number 5, Denver Jones, number 10. But Max, I took it a step further, okay? Because I went to the top 20. And you know what? Auburn had 7 players in the top 20 in the SEC in offensive performance ratings this season in Evans' numbers, okay? Dylan Cardwell was 11, Chaney Johnson was 15, Miles Kelly was 20. 7-year players are in the top 20 in the SEC. Good scoring league, right? So, what happens tonight? Baker Mazzara goes for 20. Chaney Johnson goes for 17. Denver Jones goes for 13. Miles Kelly goes for 13. Tahad Pettiford goes for 12. Dylan Cardwell goes for 9. These guys are a machine, and they beat a good Mississippi State team.
Yeah.
And officially, they beat a good Mississippi State team in a blowout, 88-66 in the jungle.
The difference in that one, one
go ahead,
stat,
Chris.
3-point shooting. Auburn 10 of 24, Mississippi State 3 of 24.
Yeah, as good as Dylan Cardwell has been as the Auburn bully ball representative, as there's one per team, the committee has made a change. Chaney Johnson is now Auburn's representative. Yeah.
Coming back.
That guy is just, I mean, hey, those first, 10, 15 minutes or so, toe-to-toe with Cam Matthews. Pretty sure he had 2 blocks on him. One of them was, get that thing out of here, I'm sending it to the stands. Yeah, that opened some eyes there, Mr. Johnson. I mean, how about it, though? 2 years ago, this guy was playing D2 at Huntsville. 2 years ago.
That's crazy.
Come on. I mean, I know we do mention Chaney Johnson almost every time we talk about Auburn, but this guy is battling at the top of the SEC, and this guy was playing D2 ball 2 years ago. Nuts.
Blake, when's the last time Bruce Pearl just really missed on a player?
Well, no, listen, that was my thing. I've always said this. The one thing I always go, oh, my God. We may do this are out of control tonight, okay? You guys are out of control tonight, all right? But hold on a second, because the greatest super chat ever, but also the greatest name ever. I have always long stated that the one thing Bruce Pearl does not get enough credit for in his career is his player development.
Yep.
And it's bringing in guys and making them better. Like, he does that time and time again. And, like, this year's a perfect example of that, right? You bring back the guys who have been in your system, they're getting better. You bring in new guys who we talked about. Like, look at some of the percentages, right? Max, what was the thing we were questioning? Miles Kelly's percentages. We're like, all right, how are those going to – look at what they've done this year. They're using him perfectly. And so I've long thought that is one of the things that he just has not got enough credit for. So yes, I'm glad you asked that question, because I've been going with that forever. So, all right, we have to put a halt to the show right now, because I don't even know what's happening right now.
I don't have any words.
The best super chat. This is a record. Okay, this is a historical record, just like the Auburn Tigers playing basketball this season. Historical moment here on Southeastern 16. Blake. This is not me, by the way. I'm not putting like Steve Carell's name up there from The Office. This is not me just kind of, putting an end to $99.99. A $100 super chat.
Oh
How much to be a guest host? Well, add another 200 to that, Blake, and you can have what you want here, pal. No. Long-time listener, first-time caller. You know what, Blake? You email us, and for that $99.99 super chat, give us an email, all right?
Yeah.
I'm not going to give out mine, but caroline.smith at southeastern14.com. Send an email to her. My goodness.
Stories about
incredible
stuff. 99-99 in Gainesville in the first half.
Well, I don't know. Blake can do what he wants at 99.99. So, by the way, guys, if you want to call in, we do have the voicemail. Would you like the voicemail link, everyone? I can give you that right now. Max, I'm going to let you man things while I find the voicemail and we get back to whatever we're talking about.
Do you have Missouri on your screens in front of you?
Yes, we do.
Yeah.
This is crazy.
All right.
The entire league is crazy. I don't know what to expect anymore, because when we said in the preview this morning, or not preview, the SEC game day that we do, I was like, okay, guys, we've got a few tight spreads, a few that are like in the mid-range. What road team do you think maybe has the best chance? And we basically narrowed it down to Mississippi State, because they might be able to catch them shorthanded, and Texas A&M. Well, they both cover, and Ole Miss is the one that we said very confidently not. And so that just goes to show, I mean, you can think you got an idea, and right when you do, that just means you're lost.
See, I think that's what makes this league fun, though.
Oh yeah,
I'm. It's more fun to just have a couple things every week that you have no idea are coming.
Nuts. I mean, this
like
is
$99 super chats.
Yeah, I don't know what you guys are doing. We just got $200 and something in super chats in the first 10 minutes of the show. Keep them coming.
Did we get to Big Baller Brett's super chat? I don't think we did.
Oh, hold on. Hold on. There's another one we didn't get to either.
Oh my gosh.
1999 from Logan here. The Todd Pettiford windmill on replay. Yeah,
that was nuts. That was nuts.
Anyways, yeah. Blake, by the way, with that $100 super chat, go find me on Twitter. Follow me. Let's connect. We'll talk about that. Also, if you join the It Just Means More tier, you can also join the show that way. We do have the hangouts and all that kind of stuff. First watch-along's coming this weekend, folks. We haven't announced it yet. We will announce it on the stream, what that's going to look like. So you can jump in. Big Baller Brett hates sports, as we know. Big Baller Brett, an Alabama fan. So that is no.
I don't know what is happening
there. So
wait, what is going on?
Blake, we got to ask a question here, Blake. Okay, is someone else doing this with your account? Like, come on, we got to make sure that like you haven't been hacked or anything like this. Can you blink twice if everything's all right here? $49.99 on the super chat. All Blake wants is Alabama at number 16 of the power rankings next week. If you're willing to pay this kind of money, again, we accept bribes. So I don't know if they're going to be 16, Blake, no matter how much you send in, but boy, they're moving down the list. Gosh. I'll tell you that. Eli, jump. I mean, we're going to get to the good stuff here in a second, but yeah, I mean,
I'm being called
guys,
out.
We got to keep playing to the people here. Eli $1.99 super chat. He's sad. Even the Twitter account tweeted, yeah. Well, I mean,
sorry. I didn't mean to cut you off there.
That's okay. Thank you for the super chats, folks. Anyways, all right.
Yeah, I declared Ole Miss the not much of a. But by the way, way more Ole Miss fans watching this than we knew. I think I said yesterday that the ceiling between Ole Miss, the floor and the ceiling gap was about as small as it was in the league. I'll take that back. If Malik Dia plays like that every night, holy cow, that team's got a gear we didn't know.
Listen, I am the offensive guy, as we know here at the channel, but if you play defense like that, sign me up, because that's what we said. And we mentioned, like, if you looked at Alabama, I had someone text me, worst offensive performance in the Nate Oates era. And I haven't looked at all the other like comparisons, but like I would probably think that's pretty close, right? I mean, if you really think about it, like, and the reason why was just that Ole Miss was just all over them. I mean, they were relentless, right? And my goodness, yeah, we did not give Ole Miss enough credit going into that one. But you want to talk about some movers and shakers in the power rankings?
Yeah.
The Ole Miss Rebels, 4-0 now in SEC play. And boy, oh boy, does that set up a game on Saturday at Mississippi State. Woo-hoo. Wow.
Oh, man.
Incredible stuff.
Where do you
Malik
think
Dia,
Ole Miss
unreal
moved up to in Ken Palm without looking?
Well, I mean, it's a road win in Alabama, so they were probably in the 20s before. So, I mean, probably in the top 20 now.
18?
That's exactly where they are. And again,
wow.
They were 62 back in November, like 4 games in.
Yeah.
Wow.
And here's another thing. They just posted the possession number. I just thought, like, Alabama has been tempoing everybody. And when Alabama gets an Alabama kind of game, they are hard to beat anywhere, much less Tuscaloosa. That was a 76 possession game tonight, in which Ole Miss held Alabama to 64 points. Like, that's crazy.
They forced 21 turnovers. That was Alabama's season high. I mean, there was a stretch there. It was like 3-4 in a row in the second half, like when it was crunch time. That it feels like 2018, 2019-ish Texas Tech when Adams and Beard were at Tech, and they would play the full 5 lineup of no one taller than like 6'8", 6'9". I know they had the one year with Tariq Owens when he was like the best blocker in the country, but other than that, they had like the Santos Silva years. He's like 6'8". So the O'Banner years, like this just feels like those no middle, make it nasty. Yep.
They brought it up like nature happiness. Bring it like they. How many times they say that on the broadcast? Like they went into it. They even had that little segment on it. Yeah, just hey, no middle, man. Don't do that, and the game gets easier.
Passes just get snagged. I mean, half the turnovers had to be the skip passes.
Yeah, like just so tough with the way they play defense. And I mean, look, and that's the thing, right? And like I said, we should have given Ole Miss more credit because the thing I kept looking at was, and I told this to you guys, I'm like, man, if you really think about it, like they have one bad performance this season. One bad performance. And that was in Memphis. Just one bad game. That's it. Like the Purdue game, there's no shame in that losing at the buzzer, right? So it was strength on strength, as we said, seeing how the defense could go in there and do that against an Alabama team, as you mentioned, Max. Season high in turnovers. You go in and do that, you got a recipe for success. But then to add to it, just a monster performance from Malik Dia. Just completely dominated that game. And so, yeah, just tremendous stuff from Ole Miss. You're moving on up in the Southeastern 16 power rankings.
Second best defense in the conference?
I mean, are you just asking, are we talking statistically, or what do you like, or just the question?
I was just saying because I saw a few best defense comments, and I was just taking a little gander at it. And I mean,
right now they have the best.
Statistically, yeah, it's the best right now.
They're number one. Yeah.
Well, I think maybe the story of the night is Malik Dia, because let's rewind this here a little bit. He played ball at Innsworth in Nashville, which is where Blake and I are from, and he was a nice player, but he wasn't the next big thing. Blake goes to Vanderbilt, registered a DNP, like 15 times 2 years ago, goes to Belmont, and really becomes a player for Casey Alexander. Goes to Ole Miss and really had been a rotation body for them up until the Arkansas game. He scores 21 in that, follows that up with 19 against LSU, and then goes for 23 and 19 tonight.
He's on a roll.
Yeah. Well, listen.
Keep moving.
You know, we have to do it to somebody on every game slate. And, you know, we knew it would get someone. We just didn't know who it was going to get. The Southeastern 16 kiss of death came for the Alabama Crimson Tide. But for all the slack that I was giving out there, we did it. I told you. We were not going to be cowards when it came to the Southeastern 16 kiss of death with Kentucky. We weren't going to get the jitters. We weren't going to get, let it bother us, right? We all went in on the Southeastern 16 kiss of death. The Kentucky Wildcats get a win over Texas A&M. Game time officially under 3 hours. I would consider that a success. And
what?
Oh boy! All right. Before we get into that, quickly, Blake has another super chat here. Is it just me, or does Chris Jans look like? I'm just going to leave out that part. Okay. Does Chris Jans look like Chris Lee? We're just going to say yes to that, Blake. 1999, okay?
Sure.
I can see
You're paying to say what you want here. But, my goodness. So, yeah. I don't even know where to, I am just, these super chats have just got us all through. They're just coming in. This is why you guys love the game. There's 1,600 of you in here right now. You love the game. Let's talk about the Cats, though, real quick. And then we got to turn it over to the people. We got voicemails coming in. We just got a voicemail from someone with the name Chris Lee Sucks. Who knows what this voicemail is going to say? I mean, it's getting out of hand tonight in prime time. Kentucky, though. Look, I mean, this was a game I told you I'm a little nervous about this one in terms of the stylistic counter between these two teams, knowing that A&M was going to get to the free throw line. They got there 25 times tonight, mild compared to most maybe, but it was the percentages, Max, that we said. What am I missing now? Oh,
guys,
what are you guys doing?
Oh my gosh.
You are out of control tonight. We have picked up.
I think we
picked up like $600 in super chats in 20 minutes. Like, what do you guys know that we don't know? Are you trying to run some kind of
25?
Is this some kind of pyramid scheme or something? What's happening out there? My goodness. Do you guys love us that much? Do you love us that much? I mean, is it all just come out now? Where were you? Where were you a month ago, folks? Come on. No, I'm just kidding. Keep them coming. $50 to believe in the 16.
Gosh.
Boy, I don't know who that is. I don't know who that is right there, but seems like a pretty suspicious character, if you ask me. $50 on that super chat. But then, Tony said, I'm not going to let Blake outdo me. He's going 99.99 too. Keep the blessings coming. WDE. My goodness. I'll say whatever you want at this point. Serena brings up a good point here. There's 1,700 of you now and counting. Hit the like button. If you enjoy your team and the way they played tonight, hit the like button. Even if you're Big Baller Brad and you didn't, then also hit the like button. This is my favorite comment so far. Big money, big money, big money. No whammy, no whammy, no whammy. Yeah, that's my favorite game show of all time. Great stuff here on that. All right, back to Kentucky. I don't even know where we're at, Max. I'm going to leave you in charge of keeping up with this. Auburn fans want me to say War Eagle. I mean, at this point, I might have to. Kentucky, I don't even know where I was. Like, so the Cats is the percentages. Yeah. That's what we're talking about. A&M shoots 39% from the floor, 7 of 30 from 3. And I told you, Max, I thought that was the thing, right? We said this had to be a Zhuric Phelps game. Now, he goes for 21, but he goes 8 of 19 from the floor. They just did not have enough beyond that. Jaxson Robinson, again, stepping up big. How about Amari Williams? Big stat line for him tonight. The Cats hit 9 threes. They got to that. What does Mark Pope like to shoot? Was it 25 or 30 threes? I don't remember the number he likes to get to, but they shot it well, and here's the story of the game. Here's why Kentucky won. Texas A&M, was it 11 offensive rebounds? Is that it? I think they had 11.
Yeah.
And so they kept them off the glass. They matched the physicality, and that, I think, was the biggest difference tonight in this one. So, yeah.
Yeah, A&M comes out, 6 first-half threes? And you're thinking, like, I just bet every Kentucky fan was just thinking, like, you got to be kidding me. Only
you knew that wasn't going to last. You knew it.
Yep. And so they only made 1, I think, in the second half, or they might have had 7 in the first half. Didn't make a single 3 the whole second half. It was one of the two. But you shut that perimeter off. I said Kentucky was going to be able to shoot over them. I thought they had even more looks. They could have made a few more threes. There was a few Jaxson Robinson threes where I was like, oh, that's in, and it didn't go in. So I thought Kentucky could have even won by more in this game. I thought they matched the physicality. That was as impressive as a performance gets, knowing the circumstances of you don't have Wade Taylor. A&M's going to be even more physical than they already are. They're not going to play anyone under 6'4". We gotta match this physicality. They did. Very impressed.
Yeah, the two things that stand out for me were that we were having a pretty active pregame text between us, and we thought, hey, we're very interested to see how Kentucky handles this, because this is kind of exactly the style that could give them issues, and they struggled with it early. But between that and Jaxson Robinson, that's 2 huge games now. What, in the last week, or is that 2 in a row? I mean, he was the guy before the season that people were hyping up as sort of I don't know if sleeper's the word, because I don't think that, but like maybe their best player. And we really hadn't seen that this year. Hey, if they've got him shooting like that, if they've got Brea, and Brea has been in a little bit of a funk lately. I'm sure, he's also been sick too. But if you get Robinson and Brea going at the same time, and oh, by the way, Kirk Reese hasn't been playing. Speaking of point guards, we may have a Lamont Butler discussion here in a second too. But my point is, they haven't had all the parts working together at once, and they've still won some huge games. Like if you get Robinson and Oweh or Brea going at the same time, then look out.
What was it with Butler? It was the shoulder, right? Felt like weird.
I saw him grab his knee once.
Yeah, it was two different. He was all over the place.
Yeah.
Yeah, we need to look into that. I'm sure Kentucky fans will weigh in with their thoughts. But somebody else just brought up a good comment too. Like Perry hitting 2 threes, like that's something too. Like in a game like this, just to have him knock down a couple shots from outside. Where was the comment? Sorry, these things are going fast and furious here. But yeah, I mean, him knocking down 2 threes was huge too. Just getting that kind of production, and yeah, everyone kind of chimed in the 30 mark on the 3-point attempts. They almost got there, but they got to the free throw line 31 times tonight. Of course, some of that was late, but I mean, to me, it's like if Jaxson Robinson keeps doing this, that takes care of a lot of issues. If he just keeps playing like this, right? Because, I mean, we go back to our all SEC teams, right? I mean, he was the guy I said immediately. I'm like, if I'm picking one representative from Kentucky, like he's the guy I fully have confidence in, leading this team this year. And so, I mean, boy, the way he's played these last 2 games, 2 huge games for them too. Like we said, different sort of kind of matchups and those kind of things. Yeah, tremendous. So, I mean, Kentucky puts us in another predicament when it comes to the power rankings. It's early. We don't do our power rankings yet again, but yeah, so I don't know. What are we going to do with all these things?
Oh, my gosh.
Carter, what are you doing? What is wrong with you? Carter, are you again? Blink twice to make sure you haven't been hacked. Caroline.smith at Southeastern14.com. I need to know if you've been hacked, Carter. Now, you've always been a super fan. You remember the It Just Means More tier at Southeastern 16. If you're not right now, hit the join button. But $200 super chat. The word is out. Southeastern 16 apparently is taking donations. I don't know what's going on. Yeah, Gabe's got it right here. Wrong stream. Maybe he meant to leave it for another body. So, my goodness,
Missouri's got 46 points. There's 2 minutes left in the half.
Yeah,
I gotta find this for Carter.
Gone in the freezer.
We also missed a couple super chats that we're gonna get back to in a second.
We do, yeah.
Caleb Grill, yeah, on a tear. Missouri 46 points here in the first half. Caleb Grill doing his thing. All right.
I did have a quick Travis Ferry comment. Sorry, but
no, go for it.
I think that because Cal let that kind of kid get out of the state so many times because they recruited a different type of player. He scored 5,000 points as a high schooler. It's kind of cool to see him getting a shot there. A kid that I'm sure grew up a big Kentucky fan like everybody in that state does. So that's and you've seen it a little bit in the chat. That's kind of a neat thing to see there.
It's a cool story.
Yeah.
Yeah. Well, and look, we always do the look aheads, and we'll kind of again get into everybody's questions and comments here in just a few as we look at things a bit more. But we talked about this stretch for both of these teams coming out of it. Kentucky now hosts Alabama on Saturday.
Oh, my gosh.
Get ready, folks.
No, Blake, look at the chat.
No. I click away to another tab, and what's happened now? So
I don't know what's happening.
All right, Blake, it's official. $199 $200 super chat. You are securing your guest host spot. Just send me a message on Twitter. I'll find you. Email caroline.smith, southeastern14.com. We'll connect. We'll find a way to make this happen. You guys are not. I don't even know what to say. Best audience in the world. Even if you don't like us, which we know some of you don't. Some of you are just all like to comment because you don't like our thoughts on things. Whatever. At this point, if you can't see that we just like to come in and have fun here, talking about SEC basketball, we do it every day. I don't know what to tell you. So we love all your teams. I promise. We do.
We just had a 30-minute heated debate between Alabama and Florida yesterday. Just not heated, but long debate. Alabama loses at home. Missouri's got 46 points at halftime. I mean, come on.
I tried to tell you guys about the Cats. You wouldn't buy it, but I tried to give the argument about the Kentucky Wildcats. So don't put me in that conversation. These two naysayers, I was all in on the Cats. So, Anyway, oh, Matt's
Nice.
Matt's doing the all caps, $3.99, securing a guest host spot. That's not how it works, Matt. Again, we've said this to you multiple times. But super chats don't work that way. But we appreciate you guys. John wants us to open a call-in line. You know what, John? That sounds like a great idea, but it also sounds like a terrible idea. Because trust me, John, Sam Smith he'd somehow have all like 10 lines secured in that. So I don't know.
We'd get a different accent every time.
I don't know. But anyways, we'll consider a call-in at some point. But we do have the voicemail. I'll leave the link again if you guys want to leave a voicemail. Max, there's more stuff we haven't even got to.
I know, and I'm trying to look through right now, and I don't know which ones we pulled up already, which ones we didn't.
Well, here's what I think we have not gotten to. Big Baller Brett, 99 cents. There's no shame in that, Big Baller Brett. Don't let anybody bully you that's not enough. That's perfect.
No unit shaming.
Virginia double dribbled. We all have established that's true. $2 super chat here. Crypto is up, boys. Okay. Quinn, did we get to Quinn's? I don't know if we got to Quinn's. $50 super chat. He's here. The real deal, he says. WDE, best team in the nation, no doubt, from Quinn. And then, as if that wasn't enough, $19.99 from Quinn. That was a damn blowout, too. Yes, Quinn, we have qualified it. You're right.
Qualifies.
That qualifies as a blowout, my friend.
Checks the box.
All right. To clear up any confusion, no, this is not OnlyFans. Matt says, I can finally pay enough rent to move into the house and out of the garage. That may be true. $1.99 for Brett to buy a heater for the garage. At some point, we'll talk about basketball here, but you guys are the star of the show right now. So, I don't know. Sorry, Gabe. I don't know what my language was, but we got so much super chat. I don't know what to say. All right. What else? Like, what do we need to follow up
center
on?
Here. Yeah.
Okay. Do we need Sanders Logistics to get us reset? Do you think that's what we need? We'll save that.
Yep.
We'll save that for later. But
Missouri and Florida are about to go to half. There's 19 seconds in that half. It just went to half. Yeah. And
50-34.
My goodness.
And they had 42
Tigers.
with 8 minutes left.
Wow.
And Arkansas is up by 2 on the road.
All right.
So.
Let's see. Somebody said we missed a super chat somewhere.
We definitely have.
All right. So here's one. Virginia double dribble from earlier. Lives south of the Auburn airport, saw a charter from Nashville landing right before the tip, and thought, wow, Sanders Logistics pays for it. Yeah, I mean, yes, absolutely. Sanders Logistics still to come to, and I don't even know what to say to that. $4.99 from the Goat Street super chat here. $4.99 from Quinn. Max, thank you for following back on Twitter. Quinn, I don't know if I follow you back, but please tell me if I don't, because you are.
I'm not on there as much as I would like to be, but if you ever want to talk
know.
hoops, I'm always talking hoops.
Holy cow! All right, what's next?
All right, let's get to the games. Though is that Oreo in the background yelling?
That's Oreo. He's wanting a walk that he's not about to get from me, at least.
No.
All right. What game did we not touch on enough? I feel like we kind of just zipped through Auburn, Mississippi State.
I think we kind of zipped through everything because we
did zip through everything.
We were super chatted into oblivion. Yeah, I don't even, go wherever you want to go with it. There's plenty of places we can go. Do we want to talk more about Ole Miss dominating Alabama? Do we want dominating, but a convincing win with their defense? I think. I don't even.
Well, we don't need to because Curtis is bringing the topic for us. $49.99. This is unbelievable. I thought $49.99 was a record at the first one. It's been rebroken like 10 times already. Do you think the SEC refs hurt the league because in the NCAA tournament they call it so much differently? Feels like it hurt the league last year. I've never really thought of it from that perspective, but that is a fascinating train of thought. What do you guys think?
Well, that's been a common thought, Chris.
Yeah.
I mean, I feel like we've discussed that over the years. Like that's always discussed when SEC teams go out early. Is it not? Like we always have that discussion. So
Like, there's definitely a few teams that really rely on free throws in the SEC that really lean on them for their offensive production and kind of their consistency. You know, some teams will dump it down to the post, like an A&M, Mizzou, some other teams, they're dump it down to the post is go draw contact. So could affect some more than others, I guess, right?
Yeah. What else?
We got another $50 super chat. I don't know what is going on right now. I mean, this is unbelievable. Brian, the curse was broken. Big Blue Nation. We did. You know, some people got hit with the curse hard tonight. Others were able to overcome.
Is this a live stream or a telethon?
I need to turn into Kramer. Like, just get the phone out and like pick up the phone and just start saying hello. We're trying to stay on track here, but guys, I mean, if you're giving us a super chat, we're acknowledging it. All right, so it may throw the show off a little bit, and this may sound terrible for our audio listeners, but we're sorry. All right, you people are coming through right now. Rob, $1.99 super chat, but Kentucky is number 5, right? Just kidding. Love y'all. I know, Rob. I try to tell him, but these guys just don't listen sometimes, you know? But then again, I was also the guy that was just saying Alabama. Oof. Not a great performance after I did that. So, all right, Max, listen, I see your response. I'm not even looking at it yet. So just give me a second before we get to it, because I want to make sure we don't miss any of these, because people are saying we're missing super chats, and I don't want to miss it, okay? All right. $1.99. By the way, if you're in the chat right now, 1,900 of you, before we continue this telethon, apparently is what this has turned into. Tell us who is your favorite team? Because when we see some of your comments, like, it's obvious, but there are other people who leave comments and we're not sure who your favorite team is. Like, we want to know. It's good context to know.
Yeah, who's in the house
for. And give us location to where you posting from.
Do not give your address. But
no, not that. But area.
All your personal information as well.
Do not give us that. But you know what Chris is trying to say.
Boy,
let us know your favorite team is, because we need to know. Again, some of it's very obvious. But, all right. $1.99 super chat. That's a blowout. Yes, that was a blowout. $20 from Chris. Chris. There we go. This is how the super chats escalate.
This is passion.
He says that he hates that school north of Auburn. I'm not going to use this language here. You can see it on the screen. They lost at home. So, All right, Chris. We know who Chris is a fan of. I'll tell you that. That's been established. Joy to the world, $4.99 super chat. You can never talk about Kentucky's awesomeness enough. Yes, trust me. We've been made aware of that from Kentucky fans. We will talk about them as much as we can for you guys. Are you kidding me right now?
Unbelievable.
Are you kidding me right now? I'm not going to retitle this to the Southeastern 16. Like, what do you guys want us to do? Do you want us to hire new basketball people? Is that what you're trying to do? They're trying to send money because they want us out and they want us just to hire a new team. Is that what you're trying to get us to do? All right, listen, we'll do it. They'll rank Kentucky at number 1 probably. These guys don't listen, but $199 $200 super chat. I can't even keep up. Super chat show from Tony. Yes, that's what it turned into.
Tony, unbelievable.
Okay. Chris, 1999. WD. Auburn fans love Southeastern 16 and seeing Bama get dog walked at home. Okay, I'm going to assume that was a comment related to Oreo. Appreciate all the content and the work you guys are putting in. Yes, we appreciate you. Hopefully this is just appreciation from you guys because, we're trying to talk about the games, but hey, if you guys are going to show this kind of support, we'll do whatever. Auburn fans, Kentucky fans, Ole Miss fans, Missouri fans, Alabama fans, whoever you're a fan of. We have reached out to your respective school to try to get your players and or coaches on. Help us out on Twitter. That would go a long way. Tell them you want to see your favorite coach, your player, whoever. Do whatever you got to, like, tag the accounts, do whatever. Say, hey, we want to see them on Southeastern 16 live and in living color. Because we're trying. We're trying to get people on the show.
Tough process to go through.
It's not an easy process.
I believe we have reached out to every baseball coach, by the way. So
yes,
got one of those recorded and a few more scheduled, a few more that are hopefully in the works.
Yeah.
We're trying.
James, $5 super chat. How many quad 1 wins for Auburn now? That would be 8.
Gosh.
They're going to move to 8-1 in quad 1. Yep.
That's now 10 in quad 1 and 2, right?
10-1. Yeah, 10-1 in quad 1 and quad 2. Yep. So, yeah. John with a $5 super chat. See that Otega Oweh dunk?
No.
Yes.
Pulling it up.
Tremendous. Chris told us it reminded him of him in high school.
Here we go.
Here it is.
Oh,
Don't play the audio.
The play button is right where the stop sharing your screen button is.
Don't play the audio, Max. Put it on mute.
I don't know how to do this.
Trust me.
Oh. All right, there we go. Sorry, that was a little rough.
Everybody's contributed to our technical fun. Oh, my goodness. Who was that?
Oh, my gosh.
Oh, my gosh. Who was that on the other side? Was that on...
Oh, it was on
Was
Payne.
that Coleman?
Field of Pain. It was Field of Pain.
Yeah, it was Coleman. Was that Coleman? No, Payne. Yeah, okay. Wow. Where does that rank? That's got to be high up there on dunks of the year so far.
Bringing the pain to Farrell.
Yeah. There you go. All right. Zach, we know, is an Auburn fan. $5 super chat. Zach already contributed an incredible amount earlier. Max and mustache continues to look better and better. I agree. Matt, $1. Oh, Matt.
Hey,
Matt.
How about that? Matt took it further than the all caps super chat. $1 super chat. We appreciate you, Matt. Matt's the regular here. Chad, $2 super chat. Is Mark Pope the SEC coach of the year right now?
Probably.
I think it's a 3-person race at this second. I think it's Bruce Pearl, Mark Pope, and Chris Beard.
I think Beard shot himself into that conversation tonight.
So
probably was already in it.
Yeah. All right, 2,000 plus of you in
boy.
here. We appreciate you guys. What is it, Chris?
In other news, LSU's just taking the lead on Arkansas.
Yeah. Oof.
The chat is screaming for Todd Pettiford as well. Oh, but we can do this. We can get this super chat first if you want.
Okay, sorry. Yeah, I'm seeing we have 242 comments since the last time I've clicked over to the comments. So, sorry, you did say we missed this, GB, a while ago, and I was trying to find it. I just could not find it.
Wow.
Posted 30 minutes ago, got lost. Still love this. War Eagle. Yep, that's incredible. So
we had Japan the other night too.
Yeah,
connected back to home. We appreciate that. Yes, keep tuning in, keep chatting, and we do appreciate you watching for sure. All right. Sorry, Max. One more. I'm trying to get all these cleared out so we can get to the.
I know.
I'm doing my best here, everyone. But we're gonna acknowledge these super chats. So, the Bingle, $20 here. Drink with the Gates from downtown, and it's good. The only state in the entire country. 2 major metro areas. 1 D1 college. Got the money. He's saying so. Got the money. Well, you guys got the money tonight. All right, Max. Go wherever you want here. I haven't looked at a single comment in. 10 minutes.
If I show one dunk, you got to show them all. This one was pretty special as well.
Oh yeah.
There he goes. Oh my gosh, he was laughing after.
Look at Baker Bizarre.
I didn't catch that live. Can we get a replay? Is it going to do a replay? Can we get a replay? Yeah, there we go.
Wow.
Jumps it. In game, that is just unbelievable.
Wow.
Look at the reaction.
See, that's what I like. I like that about this Auburn team too. Like they're just, and I know Bruce has brought that up before, but like they're into it, man. You could tell like these guys, like they like each other, like they are just the body language, like everything, like they're just a friggin' team, man. They're a team, and that's
how about Broome's sweatshirt too? Great message.
Yes,
yeah, like they're great.
Got a lot for that.
Tremendous.
Well, and I think that's where Chad Baker Mazar is a big part of what they do, because he can step in and be that emotional leader. I mean, he already was, but when you lose a guy like Broome, there's not a lot of guys around like that sort of take on that kind of role, and it feels like they've got a couple. him being one. I kind of had him in the spotlight tonight to see how that would go, and he played great.
Yeah.
Just quickly to clean this up too, Conlon, I know you added you're not coming on strong here. You're right. Like, we should put Mike White probably in that conversation too. And if they keep winning, he'll be in there.
There's a lot of great coaches.
Well, I mean, Carter brought up Dennis Gates. Like, if they win tonight, like, I mean, he would be in that discussion right now. You know, it's like, so there's so many. And by the way, I am just now looking back at the comments. You guys are leaving like who your favorite team is and like where you're, like, you people everywhere, like all over the country. Like, this is tremendous stuff. So, yeah, you guys are tuning in from everywhere. So I love it. Just great. So, all right. What else? I don't even know where to go next.
Matt, it's the $2. This thing doesn't let me comment under $2. You probably figured that out the first time, but Matt, appreciate it.
Yeah. All right. Tony checking in. Tony, another regular, as we know. All smiles for him right now. So, yeah. I'm trying to come up with Nature. Look, I know you commented a lot. Trust me, seen them. I know I wasn't down on your Rebels. I just didn't give enough credit. We all picked Alabama.
Yeah.
Trust me.
Hey, that was
believe in the Rebels.
When Alabama had been playing as well as anybody in the country. They don't lose in that building. Big props to Ole Miss tonight.
Yeah.
They had only lost, I think it was 3 times in the past 2.5 years at home. It's 4 now. But that's incredible. And if I might be one game off on that, but it's something right there.
I'm pretty sure the stat was that Oates has won 83% of his league games in that building. And let's not forget, like, the first couple of years weren't great. They were good, but he had, I'm not going to say it was a mess, but it was not, the program was not left to him at anywhere near the level that he has built it up to. And a lot of those losses came then.
Yeah, I mean, that's...
Guys, how much different would we be talking about Ole Miss if instead of 80-78 loss, it's an 80-78 win against Purdue on a neutral? And they only have 1 loss right now. They'd probably be, what were they, 21st in the AP? Not that it really matters, but they'd probably be somewhere top 15-ish.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, we'd be talking about this team as a 3 seed-ish, flirting with 2 if they keep this up. I mean,
Max, what's my favorite thing to do every offseason?
Research?
Yeah, and see who's got the most dudes who played the most minutes last year.
Yep.
And they were about 400 or 500 minutes ahead of Vanderbilt at 2. And that it meant something a year ago when that team was South Carolina and nobody had pegged South Carolina for a breakthrough year. All that experience mattered. No, people had given Ole Miss more credit coming into the season than they had Carolina because what Chris Beard has done before, and rightfully so. But it just is always very interesting to me how that plays out.
Is this stat right here? Just quickly, is this? I mean, look, we haven't even had time to look at this, but is that right? I mean, I could see
Alabama,
but
you would think that
I
don't know. You would think it's probably something like that, right?
Something like that, yeah. It's first time this year.
Yeah. I mean, look, and would you say, too, with Ole Miss in this win, that's one of the best wins for any SEC team this season, non-conference or conference. Yes. A road win at a top 5 Alabama. I think absolutely. So, yeah.
The season low for Alabama this year was 72 against McNeese, which can do that to you a bit. That's Will Wade's team. And that was the only time Alabama had been below 80 this year. Last year, good grief.
Last year they scored in the 70s a few times, but
79 against Auburn, 74 against South Carolina, which did that to people. 78 against Vanderbilt.
It's that Mark Adams defense.
Tennessee probably would have been. What did they hold them to?
That was 71. Okay, Arizona held him to 74. Tennessee in the rematch held him to 74. So
I think it's good.
What was the number tonight?
64.
They scored? Okay, South Alabama held him to 65 on November 15th of 2022.
That had to be the last one. Wow.
Yep. And I mean, look, this is true, like, too, right? Like, Ole Miss, it's not just Alabama. Like, that's what we said. Like, look what they're doing defensively. Like,
here's your game. A&M held him to 61 in the last game of the regular season in 2023.
So I'm buying this. That's it. So,
San Diego State held him to 64 in the NCAA tournament, the last game of that season.
They don't turn the ball over too, like on offense.
Nope.
Like have they lost when's the last time Ole Miss has lost a turnover battle? I'm not going to go through and look at it, but I'm just saying they're probably going to be winning that way more often than not this year. So,
yeah. Yep.
Do we want to wrap back to, it's been a while since we talked
I don't know.
Cats Aggies. It's been a while since we talked Cats Aggies.
All right. Well, because of that, don't worry. Sanders Logistics is coming in a minute, too. $5 super chat. Tired of hearing about Kentucky's defense. Win is win. Sorry I didn't get to play against the Vaunted offenses. Entertain Miami and SMU every night. Yeah, I mean, again, I just think it's like the numbers are what they are, but like now is when the numbers start to matter because, you know, it's SEC play. And so you're going to have some of those statistical numbers from however many games in non-conference play. Some of that's going to still carry weight. Some of it's not, just because, you know, there were teams that were just simply not on the same level as some of these teams. But now that you're playing these games regularly, again, this is where the separation happens, and we're starting to see that now. So, yeah.
I thought I'm gonna say it again. I really thought that was one of the most impressive performances Kentucky's had this year. What?
Was that Caleb Grill that just threw one down on the break? Watching Missouri here.
I don't know.
All
scared us, Chris.
I know.
I don't know what happened to you over there. So, my goodness.
I think it was Jacob.
Kentucky. Yes. Okay.
Maybe.
So, the reason why, I mean, they've had a lot of impressive games. Some of the best. Well, one, it's just awesome that almost every time we're tuning in Kentucky, you're getting entertained. But two was that they out-physicaled A&M. Might have been the first time I've seen that happen. You know, it's not just like they made 14 threes, shot over them, and live and die by the three. Shot 33% from three and out-physicaled them. That's why this was so impressive. Not worried about that moving forward now.
I mean, look, here's something, too, and we brought this up before. And I kind of have fun with this, but I mean, it's a fact, right? We kept saying, Max, you brought up the stat last year. Alabama defensively, what was their number efficiency-wise last year? They were the first team, or one of only, I don't remember.
They were outside the top 100. They were like 100. The first team in Ken Pom era. It was Miami
was the only team, I think.
It was like either 1, 2, or 3 of them.
Yeah.
Very rare.
So, like, it is rare, right? But it's, you know, again, if you look at Kentucky's defensive numbers right now, it's what? 76. I mean, it's not 100. It's not 110. So it's, you know, and their three-point defense still continues to be top 10 in the country. So I think that's the thing. Like, when you have teams that are this good offensively, and remember, coming into the night, what was it? Auburn was 1. Was Alabama 2? Kentucky was 3, I think. Was that the order? But now, nationally in Ken Pom, offensive rating, Auburn's 1, Kentucky's 2, Alabama's dropped to 9 after that defensive performance from Ole Miss. Florida's at 8, which after this game, I'm telling you right now, Florida's going to drop a little bit. So, yeah, I mean, Auburn and Kentucky have the 2 best offenses in the country. And so you don't need a perfect defense, right? You don't need to be perfect if you're that good offensively. You don't have to be just flawless on defense because the numbers offensively are going to still get you there. So it's just all about matchups too when we get to the tournament. So,
the
ahead,
common
Chris, and then
wisdom.
We're going to clean up a couple more super chats.
Yeah, I was going to say, and I think this is a Gary Parrish thing. The common wisdom is that you can get to a Final Four occasionally with mediocre defense, but you don't go any further because you run into a caliber of team. Which look at some point that's going to fall apart, right? Because there's going to be a random Final Four where you're meeting NC State or George Mason or Loyola Chicago, and then it resets, and then it's just another 4-team tournament. But I mean, Miami did it, and Alabama did it the last few years.
And honestly, with the way that the game is kind of just moving more perimeter oriented, I bet that's just more and more common now. I bet we see that probably, every other year. There's probably like a top 5 offense that's outside the top 75-ish defense, and they make it because you win. Yeah, you win by scoring more points. So there you go.
It's true. It's true. In basketball, that's a fact. You do win by scoring more points than the other team. All right, let's clean up a couple more super chats here. Elizabeth joins in, $9.99. First time able to watch live.
Hey,
Go
nice.
Big Blue Nation. We appreciate that, Elizabeth. DJ Big Dirty, another regular here. Also remember that it just means more tier. Love watching the game reactions on West Coast time. Yeah, there you go. You're
I
getting
believe
this
he's in
nice
Eugene.
early.
I think I saw earlier.
Is that right? Okay.
Yep.
Chad weighs in, $10 super chat. The only numbers that matter is which team has the most wins against top 15 teams. Turn it off right there, Chad, right? Chad also a member of the It Just Means More tier. We appreciate him, as always. Our Stu's here, $10 super chat. Trust me, I know. Getting on me in the chat. I saw it. I saw Mickey Mouse a lot. I saw it. Yo, Mr. Lovell, tell us how great that Mickey Mouse offense from Tuscaloosa is. Well, listen, come on. Come on now. They were the number 2 offensive team in the country entering this game. All right? They're number 9 after this game. Come on. Let's not act like they weren't scoring. But your Rebels shut them down tonight. Agreed. $5 super chat. Free Chris Lee.
I agree with this.
Where are we freeing him from?
I don't know.
Chris, what are you seeing with the updates?
I'm seeing Missouri is now in kind of about a 13-minute scoring funk going back to the first half. Missouri just buried a 3. That was Robinson, maybe? Couldn't tell.
And Rob.
The guys on my TV are about as big as my thumbnail. I'm watching the 4-screen splits. I'm having a little issue with player identification here.
Arkansas is up by 7, I believe.
Is on a run now. Yeah.
Yeah.
And by the way, we still got a game to tip off. Is Oklahoma tipped off?
It's tomorrow night.
That's tomorrow night. Sorry.
Tomorrow. Yeah.
It feels
They'll
like
be
tomorrow
starting
already.
A rev out now tomorrow night because they play the 9 p.m. Central game. So, yeah.
Which is weird because you got one at 5 tomorrow night and one at 9 tomorrow night. And you had 3 games at and 2 in particular. The Auburn game kind of got away early, but I wish the spacing of some of these games were a bit different.
$5 super chat here from G Cox. I know he sent a message saying we forgot it. Trust me, we didn't. We're just going to get back to it. And again, we're trying to keep up with these. It's just not easy, folks. What was the best game of the night? The best game of the night from a UK fan.
I think I watched the most. Like I had 3 screens going on at one time. I got 2 TVs set up and then I watch another on my laptop. Sometimes I'll split one into 2 to get 4 going. But I was admittedly most paying attention to Ole Miss Alabama for the majority after Kentucky kind of blew that lead open right, first few minutes of the second half.
Yeah.
I was like, oh boy, yep, there it goes. And Auburn was in control. So I was mainly focused in on that Ole Miss upset.
Yeah,
I
think I was most intrigued by Kentucky and A&M because of the styles and because A&M had been playing so well. And then that Ole Miss game kind of snuck up on me. But Ole Miss sort of controlled that thing. Like, when was the last time Alabama led in that game?
I'll get that for you. They had a lead. The last time they led was 40-38 when there were 16 minutes left.
Okay.
After that, Juju Murray hits a 3 with 15:53 to go up by 1 and never trailed the rest of the game. So they controlled the last 15 minutes. And it was back and forth up until then. There really wasn't. No one really had control in the first half. Back and forth.
Yeah, at one point I was trying to watch 3 games, and then my fourth option on the screen was also DePaul and Marquette, which was interesting too. We ended up going into overtime.
How much of a factor do you think? Well, so Ole Miss didn't kind of have their, if you want to call him their glue guy, he's one of their kind of more physical guys that they have. Mikal Brown-Jones didn't have him, but that was Alabama's first game or second game without Darian Reed, but first SEC game without him. How much do you think that played a factor? Because now that I'm looking at it, they probably could have used some of his defense, maybe get some easy offense with how they couldn't really get anything going. I don't know. I guess it's an angle we didn't really talk about. No Reed.
They haven't had everybody together one game all year.
It's just it's a carousel. It's a carousel.
I will tell you this: when we threw upsets and played the who's most likely to get upset, I think that of the 5 games tonight, Alabama was probably the last one on my list that I thought would lose.
It was the largest betting spread. It was minus 11.5.
Yeah.
So
and it's not just playing at Alabama, but they just went to A&M and controlled that game in what I thought was an awful style for them. I know Wade Taylor wasn't playing. I didn't know how much it would matter. That one just caught me by surprise.
Blake, Missouri was plus 10.5.
Okay. I just want to acknowledge a new record here at Southeastern 16. We've just we've obviously shattered a Super Chat record tonight, but we've also now just shattered a record for how many people are watching at once on a basketball show.
Even more than last year's Selection Sunday?
This ties last year, but like the number's going up right now. So we're going to eclipse what we had for Selection Sunday last year. 2,000 plus of you are currently in here checking out Southeastern 16 at 9:30 Central Time. Yeah, so we appreciate you guys. I mean, that's a new record for us. A new regular season record. How about that? We'll use that for sure. We can factually say that. But yeah. But anyways, all right. Okay, we have more Super Chats, and I want to make sure we just I know we want to do other stuff, but we need to acknowledge the Super Chats. So $5 Super Chat from Mitch. The gaps from Auburn's offensive efficiency in Kentucky is the same gap from Kentucky's to Michigan State, who's number 24. Yeah, so that shows you. I mean, Auburn has been on another level. We mentioned those numbers, advanced numbers earlier. The metrics tell us how good they are even beyond Johni Broome offensively with those players. So
pause it there. They got 1.24 points of possession tonight, which I think is a little bit under their average. No, that can't be right.
Mm-hmm.
Through 4 games, guys, in SEC play, they're shooting 41.4%. They're shooting 41.4% from 3 so far in their 3 SEC games. And they're 5th in the nation in 2-point field goal percentage.
Yeah.
And 4th in turnover rate. They're not going to turn it over. They're going to shoot 40% from 3, and they're going to shoot 60% from 2.
Here's how good those offenses are right now. Mississippi State, you look at the games working backwards against Power 5 teams. 64 points allowed to Vanderbilt, 50 to South Carolina. Memphis isn't Power 5, but I'll put them in there in this discussion. 66 there. Gave up 57 to a good Pitt team. 77 to Butler. Again, not Power 5, but that level. And that was actually in November when they weren't playing as good a defense. They give up 90 to Kentucky. 95 and then 88 to Auburn. I think I started to ask, and I didn't like, are we a little worried about Mississippi State's defense? I think the answer is no. I think they just ran into two incredible offensive teams because the defense had been there until this last two.
Yeah. And I also think, Chris, you were right on it about how much they miss Clary just by having a little bit of a pressure release, just take a little something off Josh. I mean, what's he shooting in conference play right now? He's 11 of 36, 30.6%. It's not terrible, but by his standards, that is not what we know Josh Hubbard can do. I mean, past few games, 2 of 10 from 3, 3 of 11 from 3, 1 of 5. He did have the 5 of 10 game against South Carolina. That's what that's what I know Josh Hubbard for. But man, he could use a little bit of a pressure release. Last year, that was Shaq Moore. And Davis would take a little bit of that off. Right now, it's all eyeballs on him, and you can see it in his efficiency.
Okay. Shout out to all the nice words coming in. Tyler G, best hoops content out there. Great job. We appreciate you, Tyler. James, really enjoy the show. Go Cats. We appreciate you, James. My favorite one here. Y'all are the goats, man. Love the show, but I especially love Max's hot stash. That's probably why we have 2,000 plus in here right now. Let's call it what it is. Do you not agree, Max?
I haven't talked to a female in like 3 months.
Well, there's some in the chat, so we can just say, hey, that's how you interact with other people is through the chat on YouTube.
Season.
It's basketball season. That's how we do this thing. Yes, appreciate you, Chris. It just means more tier as well. Remember, guys, if you want to join the It Just Means More tier, we got a watch along coming for our members. Watch along. Are you ready for the watch along announcement? Will this get you to sign up, to hit that join button? And let me tell you, it's really hard to figure out how to join via mobile. YouTube makes it impossible. So you're going to have to probably go to a desktop or go to it like on a browser on your phone using the desktop version to get to the join button, or go find anything we've done for our members, and it'll let you join from that. Max, are you ready to make the decision now on which game we're going to do a watch-along for on Saturday?
Thought we were going kind of early. Were we not?
Looks like we may be going kind of early, because now let's give you the rules of the watch-along here, okay? We obviously cannot stream the thing on our channel. Yeah. So, don't, just so we're clear, you're not watching the game on our screen, all right? You have to watch the game on your screen. We'll just be on to talk about it while the game's going on, all right?
We're hanging out watching the game.
We're hanging out watching the game. That's the deal here, okay? Our first watch-along of the season here at Southeastern 16 with our members. If you're part of the It Just Means More tier, $3.99 a month. Some of you have already paid for a whole year tonight. Should have maybe put it towards that.
There's a game that has a predicted total of 90 to 88. That would be a really fun game to watch.
Should we then do Kentucky versus Alabama at 11 a.m. Central Time on Saturday? A top 10 matchup still stands right now. Alabama's ranked 4th. Kentucky's ranked 8th. We know Bama's going to drop a little bit. 11 a.m. Central Time for our members. We are going to do a live watch-along on Saturday. Remember, you have to watch it on your screen, but you can, as a member, jump in, listen to our thoughts live. That's what we're doing. 11 a.m. Central Time on Saturday.
First time trying it. It's going to be fun.
It will be fun. We're just going to hang out and watch the game and talk about it. How about that? And then, of course, you will get our reaction afterwards. We got a long day, but public, you'll get our reaction. But hey, there you go.
Yeah, Brett says do it, and you'll be able to catch my mental breakdown live. Yep,
that's true.
Exactly. That's exactly what we're here for.
Well, Florida's about to.
Here come the Gators. Yeah,
overtake Missouri here.
Cal might be getting tossed here in LSU.
LSU's up by 3?
He's having a heated discussion while LSU is shooting technical free throws and hitting them. I did not see what precipitated that.
Speaking of technicals, I felt like the technicals in the A&M Kentucky game were just weird.
Yeah, they had a quick trigger on those.
those.
But once they called the one on the A&M bench, they had to call the one on Jaxson Robinson.
It's just a weirdly. I didn't know what the
Yeah,
parameters were. Call it one side, call it the other.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm not crazy about those. I mean, I think if you think something is brewing and there's about to be a fist fight, then maybe. But I mean, a little turning and saying something to the bench to me is not over the top. But I wasn't there.
We've got a new member, Jack, son of Jack. Thank you, Jack.
Is it Jack or is it the son of Jack? Which one is it?
It's Jack, son of Jack.
It's Jack Jr.
You don't know Jack, son of Jack?
I don't know. Update. Missouri's up 62-53 on Florida, 11:05 to go in that one. A couple more things I wanted to get to here. I think this was a great comment I thought from Kimmy. Hold on, raise your hand if you don't have a girlfriend or wife. Is this how this works? Is this my new dating app? Well, hey, it could be. Southeastern 16, we give back to the people here via the chat on YouTube. Hey, you never know. Wouldn't that be a story, though? Think about this, guys. Not only are we talking about basketball, what if someday someone comes back to the chat and they say, guys, I just want you to know we got married out of your super chat the night that Alabama lost to Ole Miss, Kentucky beat A&M, Auburn looked like a machine against Mississippi State. Do you think – I don't know if that's ever going to happen, but, I mean, I don't know.
Mrs. Sam Smith.
Oh, boy. Here we go. Anyways, so –
there may be
okay.
Sam Smith already. I don't know.
I don't know what else we're getting to here. There you go.
Luke is in the chat. Auburn wins. Bama loses. Life is good. WDE. Hey, the Auburn fans are having themselves a nice Tuesday night here.
Auburn fans may not be the only ones, according to Jacob. A lot of babies being born about 9 months. Southeastern 16. There's a sponsor. By the way, someone asked earlier. We did tease. We have a new sponsor starting tomorrow. We do. You wanted a preview of it. I can't do that. We'll give you our new sponsor. One of actually multiple new sponsors. So guess what that means? Multiple new ad reads. I've been waiting on this. We have a new one starting tomorrow. Others to come. So, and by the way, if you want to sponsor, remember, you can reach out. caroline.smith. I'm going to put it in the chat for you guys at Southeastern14.com. Poor Caroline's going to get more emails tonight than she's ever gotten. But that's okay. All right. We'll take the baby comment off the screen. Okay. Matthew's a regular. It just means more to him. Just here to say war damn Eagle. There you go, Alabama fans. I said it, but I had to say it via Super Chat.
Yep.
$5 from Zach. It's the rules. If that happens, Mac's going to be his best man. There you have it.
I'm there.
If you get married out of this show, Max will be your best man. Or whatever you want him to be, quite honestly.
Me and Ted R. Sanders will be there.
Yes, I bet Teddy R. would be there. No doubt about it. Yep. Mother Carol, $20.
Hey, there she is.
There she is. A lot of new people jumping in tonight, I think. If you don't know the legend of Mother Carol, it's time.
Yep.
Mother Carol, one of our best supporters that there is, noted Kentucky fan. She wants us to allow the call-ins. Well, you guys may have made this possible. We may have to. You've spent in so much money, we may have to do call-ins. All right. Congrats to Ole Miss and Auburn. Looking forward to meeting them on the court. Yep, those games coming up. So there you go. All right. What else we got?
Just real quick. Parker McKnight here. Who is Grill on Mizzou? This guy doesn't miss. For those of you that don't know, Parker and I grew up together in the same neighborhood. I lived with him last year in Atlanta. We watched the most college basketball I have ever watched in my whole life. Okay, I'm always going to tell this story real quick. We had a whole sectional couch. Okay, we had an entire sectional couch. We never sat on it. It was 5 inches away from the TV, acting like you're a part of the team. Parker's out in Salt Lake now, doing good things. But just wanted a short story. That's what my entire last year was. Starting out with you guys, we would just nonstop watch. If there was a game on, game was on the television.
All right, question for you guys. And it's incomplete because we don't know how Missouri is going to finish or not finish down in Florida. Tigers are up, 8 with 10:57 left. Could be 7 here. Who's that? Alex Condon hits another free throw. And I'm just going to exempt Arkansas and LSU from this. But I want to know which team feels better about itself than it did coming into tonight? Because I think that's a very interesting discussion.
I think it's either Auburn or Ole Miss.
That's where my head goes. And, like, for Auburn, not that just beating Mississippi State like that wouldn't feel – yeah, that's an accomplishment even with Johni Broome. But you lost him. You saw the look on Bruce Pearl's face on Saturday. A lot of uncertainty when the heart and soul of your team and the National Player of the Year goes out. But then, and Auburn would be the easy answer most nights. But Ole Miss, what it did at Alabama, not just winning, but doing something to Alabama that nobody does to Alabama anywhere. And Chris Beard, look, he spent a year plus trying to get his team to defend like it defended when he was winning big at Texas Tech. And you got Malik Dia coming on with 3 straight super games. It is a different team than it was to start the season. I think as impressive as Auburn was, now I did not have them beating Mississippi State like that. That was not an expectation. But we said we still think this is a really good team even without Broome. I didn't know that Ole Miss had that in it.
I'll tell you what, I think Ole Miss, I mean, it just because of that Texas Tech championship run where they went all the way, and then I believe it was Virginia, right? Isn't that when Virginia won it all? Just the fact that Beard has done it before with Mark Adams as his defensive coordinator, with a similar team. I mean, Matt Mooney and Pedulla, it's like a clone. Matt Mooney and Sean Pedulla, literally, they look just like each other. They both do the headband. I think Mooney only had a headband early on. But anyways, it's just, I get all the feeling of like, this is a team that's going to get into March. They're going to be like a 4 or 5 seed. They're going to force a ton of turnovers, and they got a ton of guys that can shoot threes. And then they got matchup nightmares in the front court. It just feels like a team that's going to be so tough to beat. Up to 18 in KenPom now.
Okay. We continue on here. I mean,
look, we got a few more chats to get to.
Any of you are free to hop off at any time, but as long as these keep coming in, we're going to talk to you guys. So you said we missed this one. We were kind of zooming through. Do you think there's a team that can compete, $5 super chat, by the way, compete with Auburn at home? Expect 1 or 2 losses on the road, but not at home. I mean, what's the streak at now?
Oh, I don't know what the streak is, but...
Well, here's the remaining home schedule. How about we do that, okay?
Yeah.
So, Tennessee, January 25th. Oklahoma, February 4th. Florida, February 8th. Arkansas, February 19th. Georgia, February 22nd. Ole Miss, February 26th. And then Alabama, March the 8th. There's some tough games in there. With or without Broome, there are some tough games in there. Let's not kid ourselves. But they have held serve at home, and they've always been a good team at home under Bruce Pearl. You know, I mean, for the most part, right? So you just expect them to win a lot of those games. So, yeah.
Remember my prediction in the summer about Auburn, Blake? My bold prediction?
You did say they were going to go unbeaten at home, didn't you?
I said they're going to go unbeaten at home.
Mm-hmm. I remember that now. Yeah.
Just because I brought that up, watch what's going to happen. But I shouldn't have said anything.
Yeah. That game at Kentucky, March 1st, that ought to be something.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, kickoff.
And you would hope Broome would be back by then.
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
I would think so.
Yeah. Oh yeah.
Blake's a new member. Kimmy's a new member. We appreciate that. Another $5 super chat. And then followed up from earlier. I know you sent this in because you didn't think we were going to get to your previous one, but we did. Who here can beat Auburn? You answered your own question. That's right, nobody. Alabama, Kentucky, Ole Miss. Don't make them lie. Okay, well, take it to the chat on that. Go. Donovan, $4.99 super chat. Donovan, another regular here. Historic day for the channel. Yes, it just means more. Also, I knew we had other great players, but it's Chad Bacon Lasagna, possibly a top 5 SEC player. Well, according to the ratings, he's a top 2 offensive player in the league.
I think that's a legit question because I was thinking about that tonight. There's so many great players in the league, and his numbers are not going to be there with some of the other guys at the end of the season, probably because they spread the wealth around so much. But we have seen him several times when they really needed him this year step up and be that guy. I think I want to say, didn't he have a really good game against Iowa State? I mean, they played so many big games. I lose track of who did what when. It's a beauty pageant of players for the All SEC team. But I think he's got a chance to get there in Broome's absence because somebody needs to step up and give them that whatever that you can't replace Broome, but help out a little more.
2 years ago today, Chaney Johnson's playing ball at Alabama Huntsville, and Chad Baker-Mazara is playing at Northwest Florida State. 2 years ago.
Now, to be fair, he did play at San Diego State before that.
He did.
Did he not? Yeah,
he did, and he was good. But I'm just saying, that is just ridiculous.
All right. So, I think we have more super chats. And here's what I think we're going to make an executive decision on, okay? I think we're going to come back in the morning and clean up Missouri and Arkansas. And here's why, folks. Because if you're a Missouri, Arkansas, LSU, Florida fan, we can't put this in the title. Like, the title is already at full length here because we had 3 incredible top 20-ish matchups in the first window. So are you guys okay with that? If we come back and clean up those 2 games in the morning. Yeah, I'm asking you.
Yeah.
Okay. Because again, like we have not really, yeah. So I think we're going to do that in the morning. So if you guys want to come back in the morning, we're going to do our usual morning show. But I think we'll probably talk about those 2 games there. Because it's still going to be a little bit on this one, and I just think we'll have more people probably. All right. Quickly, $5 super chat here, G Cox. Don't worry, Sanders Logistics, we've not forgotten. Don't worry, I've not forgotten. Guarantee Kentucky will not lose to Auburn this year on Auburn's home court. There you go. Okay. You know why? All right. $2 super chat.
Blake, I'm sorry to interrupt. I got to hop off for 2 seconds. I'm starting to sweat that I've been holding in this bathroom for so long. I'll be right back.
Okay. You heard it here first. Max is going to pee. All right. Let's continue on.
Thanks for that, Max.
Oh, I mean, the man's honest. So, all right. On the way out, Sanders Logistics. If you want Sanders Logistics, in the comments, let me know. If you don't, then we won't do it.
Give us a like if you want Sanders Logistics.
Hit the like button if you want Sanders Logistics. Give us a thumbs up if you want to hear about incredible
hassle-free.
Stuff. You don't even know the verbiage, Chris. Come on.
That's your department.
It is. What 80s song can I use to bring in Sanders Logistics? I don't want Max to miss this, so we're going to make sure he gets on first. So, actually, this is perfect. Max Barr just did something that I think was pretty important here. Because, as Mother Carol says, when you gotta go, you gotta go. And you know what, folks? If you've got to go anywhere in the world, you can get there with Sanders Logistics because you know what? Here's the thing. Had Max been sitting there and the nearest urinal been, let's say, 20 miles away. Let's say Max was 20 miles from the nearest urinal, and he said, you know what, I got to get there, and I need to do it in a hassle-free, efficient way. You know who he could have called? He could have called Sanders Logistics, because Ted R. Sanders probably wants nothing to do with Max's pee. But Sanders Logistics is a leader among moving companies in Nashville, Tennessee, and the surrounding area. Their team of professional movers are focused on delivering efficient, hassle-free moving at an affordable price. If you needed to move just to go to the bathroom, like Max Barr, they needed just 30 miles down the road, needed to move, he could have called Sanders Logistics, and they would have got him there. Efficient, hassle-free moving, affordable price. Whether you're moving across town or across the country, Sanders Logistics has you covered. Visit them at tedrsandersmoving.com.
I drink a lot of caffeine before the shows, and then it catches up to me after about an hour.
Yeah, well, I mean, that happens.
Got to do what you got to do.
All right. So I think we're going to wrap up here. I know that this game's going to be going on a while. So we're going to come back tomorrow morning, and we're going to talk about Florida, Missouri. We're going to talk about LSU, Arkansas. And I know if a certain game goes wrong, Kentucky fans, you're going to hop back in, I guarantee you, to get your thoughts on Arkansas. I have no doubt in my mind, so we appreciate you. But we will talk about this in the morning. We'll also talk more about these games from tonight. We'll give you some fresh thoughts, maybe. We'll also preview tomorrow night's games. 3 games tomorrow night. So if you guys are good with that, we appreciate you. A record-setting night at Southeastern 16. All because of you guys. Tremendous, tremendous stuff tonight. And, hit that subscribe button. If you're watching for the first time, we do this all the time. Hit the subscribe button. Hit the like button on your way out. I would tell you to leave super chats, but trust me, you guys have done enough now. Don't forget, watch along Saturday if you want to be there with us. Kentucky, Alabama, 11 a.m. Central on YouTube, only for members.
Saturday.
Get the
teams going.
All right, Chris, anything to say on the way out here?
No, other than what an amazing night of basketball and an amazing audience we have. Grateful for everybody. I think we were all blown away with tonight.
Yeah.
Again,
can't believe it.
Missouri fans, Florida fans, Arkansas, LSU, tomorrow morning. Ole Miss fans, come back tomorrow.
Yeah.
You know what? This is going to become a thing, isn't it? Am I going to have to start wearing some Mickey? You're going to make me, aren't you? So I appreciate you. Letting me down easy on the Rebels. All right? We're buying in on the Rebels. Tony, we got to give Tony some love here.
I know.
I don't even know how much money Tony dropped tonight on us, but yeah.
Fantastic.
Incredible. All right, guys. Chris, wrap it up. We're out of here.
We got breaking news in the basketball circuits. I've been asked for a roster of my 10U team.
Oh no.
By I don't know who. We're 3-0.
Oh boy.
There may be some.
Don't hand out the roster.
I don't know if someone thinks we've Danny Almonte'd them or what, but
somebody's scouting your team, I think.
This just came across. Yeah. After we held someone to 11 points, Max Barr, last time out.
11.
I thought that was. I was pleased.
Sounds like something I'd like to watch.
So we'll have to see what's up with this.
Yep, we'll be back tomorrow.
All right. Thank you all for watching. It was a fun night, a memorable night. We got many more to come. Hope you'll be there for those. And hit the subscribe button if you're here. Haven't, that's free.
Oh, God. Jeez.
Yeah, I'm speechless. Thanks for watching. For Max Barr, Blake Lovell, God bless you. Have a great night. We'll see you in the morning back here at Southeastern 16.